All right, so we gotta.
Oh Lord,
We're gonna go in on Ubisoft, and then we'll move on to Netflix.
My video for tomorrow.
So this whole Ubisoft thing has been such a wild ride. We have so much chaos. The media has been melting down. It's almost like it's their 9/11, the games media, because it's a win, and they're calling it an incel victory.
Oh my God.
That's it. This is
another one.
The article.
The Acolyte was an incel victory.
It's right there.
Too. And I will.
Incel
you need to
victory.
understand who the gentleman Michael Proctor who made these comments. This is what we'll be talking about in the video tomorrow. This very article, who this guy is, and I'll have some other supporting stuff. But yeah, this is it. This is where Wall Street is now. This is what I was talking about in the beginning of the show, where, you know, a lot of the friends out there on YouTube, you guys look at the pop culture side, the game journos, the television and entertainment journos. What comes across my desk frequently every morning, of course, is the Wall Street journos, the financial journos, and this is one of them. And we have hit a new era now where a managing director of a significant Wall Street firm based out of Los Angeles, over $3 billion in AUM, assets under management, with nearly 10,000 clients, beclowned himself so badly earlier this year that he is now basically desperately trying to come up with any excuses and is now using the term, a 60-year-old man, using the term now to his clients, 10,000 clients of this firm, incels broke Ubisoft.
Man, the incels are getting all the victories. We got the victory with the Acolyte. We're getting like all the incel victories are happening now. It's all on a roll.
You're about
swung and the incel victories.
We are about to witness in this article complete batshittery.
Of course it is.
I honestly imagine they're using incel because they don't know what it means. It's become one of those words that simply means enemy.
Right.
It's kind of like using the word Nazi or racist. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spaghetti against the wall.
Anymore.
Everybody's an incel, right? We're all incels. I'm an incel.
It's just
so
designed
much
to insult us.
So much winning this year. It's wild.
It is wild.
So much winning. Ubisoft.
We have so much
I
power.
was thinking. So I made this Ubisoft going bankrupt question mark before, and Demian came on here and said, like, yeah, the company's fucked, according to that guy he talked to.
You wouldn't believe, dude.
And it kind of makes sense.
There's no turning back what's happening. What I've been told is that basically the people that are working at Ubisoft right now, they're so incompetent at their job that one of the big problems with Ubisoft is they have what's basically being called a talent problem, if you will. They are outsourcing a lot of their
because they have nobody talented working for them.
Exactly. All of the key talent has pretty much left Ubisoft at this point. They don't have anyone. So every game they make now, they don't actually have people that know what they're doing.
That's it.
So that's why you have.
This is what happens when you have 2,000 employees who don't know how to make a video game. Exactly.
That's the real problem. And I want everybody watching right now. This is why you're here. I want everybody watching right now to completely understand. This is the real denigration of DEI. This is what has brought things down. It's not about the fact that, for example, with Ubisoft, we can say that, having Yasuke in there, forcing a 6-foot-tall black guy who was not a samurai. He carried a tool bag for Nobunaga, okay? Not a samurai.
He carried swords.
Yeah,
he's a sword carrier.
He was a sword carrier,
which is a nice position to have.
Literally, what Yasuke did,
but he wasn't a fighter.
Good morning.
He wasn't a fighter.
No, he was basically a court jester, if you will. He was a pet that Oda Nobunaga would bring out in front of his guests to be like, "Look, this guy's black."
Yeah, right. He's black and he's a foot taller than all the rest of us.
Well, before you guys get too far from the other point you were just making, because this is really all I have to add to all this shit. This is where I was kind of pushing back on Crow a little bit, and I'm not trying to single you out, Crow. I'm just saying, like, on this whole idea of, like, the movie industry is in worse shape than the video game industry or anything like that, because one single game or a game or two can kill an entire fucking studio at this point, and this is the proof right here. The same thing can't be said for a movie studio, really, to where a lot of that is pretty much amortized by other things. This is a situation where we could be looking at another video game crash. That's what I was getting at earlier.
That's where we're going, and that's the point, Tom. It's not about just the DEI that is self-evident in the casting of the game, right? Putting a character in like this in a game that was deliberately designed for feudal Japan. It's the fact that the developers themselves, as Endymion just pointed out, the culture inside of Ubisoft, just like the same culture inside of Disney.
Look at that mentorship program, the internship that they have.
That's it.
That's it. Like, that right there just screams what that work culture is like there.
Yeah.
No
also
cis men.
guys,
That's where DEI is the poison. It's in the
Ubisoft
corporate
originally
culture.
did not have Yasuke as the main character. I can say that with confidence.
I believe that.
And
Well, yeah,
like
because
I said,
people
I'll have my
wanted-
video tomorrow on it, but like it's fucked, man. Like it just Ubisoft's completely fucked. There's no going back from what they're doing, and the
it's
future
so
of
crazy.
Assassin's
Like
Creed,
they
what I
could
know
have
is even more fucked.
They could have made a Black Samurai work, but they just because everybody loves Afro Samurai.
It was
a
the
great
marketing
show.
behind the game where they were claiming that he was a actual samurai from Japanese history.
I think that's what it was.
Assassin's Creed has never used the main character as a historical figure before, right? Which led them to do all the leeway and do whatever the fuck they wanted with it. But they pigeonholed themselves into this shit. And it's really frustrating because I was one of those people who thought, hey, this looks like it could be a good game until you find out who the fucking main character is. Because Assassin's Creed set in Japan with fucking actual samurais and shit, that sounds awesome. There's
so much. You're on the right track there. There's a lot to that. Like especially. The cringiest shit for me was when they had him just beating the shit out of like Asian people to hip hop Japanese music.
Yeah,
Like, why is the music? The music should just be regular Japanese kind of tunes. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't have a hip hop beat.
I do want to add
in
to
there.
as well,
I think that's
Yasuke's the only. Is not the only time we played a historical figure in an Assassin's Creed game. The first time technically was King Leonidas in Odyssey in the opening. But the difference there was that it was a tutorial besides the whole game. So yeah, Crow is technically right.
Like the other thing is like look at Ghost of Tsushima, right? So it's pretty clear that if you make a game set in Japan and you put in that historical setting, people are going to want to fucking play it. But like then you look at what they're doing with Ghost of Tsushima too, and I don't want to like derail and talk about all that shit. But like they cannot fucking stop themselves from putting the DI shit into these games, right? They just can't fucking stop themselves. They have a formula. They can see it fucking works. They can see gamers fucking want it, but they cannot fucking help themselves. It's like literally we're telling them, hey, literally stop pointing the gun at your nuts. And they're like, no, this is fine. And then they pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah, I mean, like my comment on Yōtei pretty much like pissed off the whole internet pretty much. And then it ended up getting Sean Layden, who was the PlayStation boss. He everyone's seen that article probably.
I've seen it, but let's be fair, he doesn't work at Sony anymore.
No, he works at Tencent now.
At Tencent's a whole different bag.
He works for their competitor.
Chinese bullshit. Yeah. The thing with I didn't even know if I wanted to get into Yōtei because it's like, number one, I've been dealing with voice actors in the English voice acting market since Vic Mignogna, and I learned years ago all of them, minus maybe a couple, like Chuck Huber, Vic Mignogna. Most of them are gigantic pieces of shit. So to learn that some voice actress is a giant cunt, I'm not shocked. I really am not shocked by that. Everybody in Western voice acting, for the most part, is a giant progressive piece of shit. I mean, you can play the game in Japanese, like I did in the first one. They had Zoro's voice actor from One Piece. It's awesome. And that's how I'm going to play this game if it's good and I get it.
It's not
However,
just the voice acting.
I can't tell 100%, but is her face also used for...
I think they did, but she looks like an old woman. It's not a good look for them. It's bad PR, but to say, like, that's affecting the game. She didn't really have anything to do with the game itself other than doing some lines that I'm never going to hear because I'm going to play it in Japanese.
There is actually a little bit around that, which I don't know if you're aware of. I did a little bit of a deeper dive into this because it's an interesting situation. Whether or not you refer to this as a woke game, like how much evidence do you need, etc., it's kind of cool. She's actually been member of productions before, one of which was a Justice League animated series, where she changed the script on the fly and got them to go with it. And it was, of course, a political joke.
Yeah, but is that going to be in the Japanese version? I mean,
we don't know.
Subtitles and stuff, you know.
Like, my point
I think anybody that
that
plays that game in English is weird anyway because the game is set in Japan.
The problem is,
oh yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to how they do things here, like they will fuck with the subtitles to push their own agenda, even if the Japanese script is completely.
Yeah, the localizers will. That is true.
Yes, they may very well ignore the
They've
script.
been doing it. Yeah,
because
I mean, it's hard to say. I just don't want
to.
This game is years away. I don't want to just jump on it. Is it next year?
Yeah, it's next year. Yeah,
I need to see more. I need to see more.
What
I
can't tell you is, based on the person I was talking, the people I was talking to about my next video thing, they did tell me that with Ghost of Yōtei that the people who worked at Sony, we were actually blindsided by the announcement, that weren't like 100% like in the know about Yōtei. They were under the impression, this is what I was told, that there was going to be a Jin Sakai 2 game.
I think that game is still coming.
Yeah, but when they saw the Yōtei was a woman, they were just as blindsided. And allegedly, based on what I was told, the people at Sony are reeling. They're fucking angry beyond belief that we are, like, as a community, I guess, not ecstatic about there being a female protagonist over Jin Sakai instead. They're really mad about that. So that's just letting you guys know. That's something that I know.
I think the problem is because, and there's people that have concerns, and I'm not saying that, you know, people's concerns are just as valid if you're worried about it, and it could be a shitty game. I don't want to get into this habit of like, so I mean, I'm playing Zelda Echoes of Wisdom right now, and it's an excellent game. I really like it. But, you know, I've got people commenting. I commented on Twitter the other day saying, yeah, I'm playing this and I really like it. Somebody's like, I'm not playing this woke trash. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking? There's nothing woke about this game. It's a fine game. It's actually a lot of fun. They go out of their way to establish that Link is much more powerful than Zelda, too, because you eventually find his sword in the void. I don't want to spoil it. So when you do it, you can kind of become like a Link mode, and you just level everything, showing just how the different power level that he has compared to Zelda. It's a fun game. I really like what they did with the magic element and making you can kind of create like little armies to defend you. It's fun. It's the same as it's like they change it up. So it's still the Zelda gameplay, but they added like the different way you go about it with Zelda, and Link is much different. I really like it. Definitely not the best Zelda game, but it's still pretty damn fun. Like, I'm having a great time with it.
I get what you're saying about like not wanting to go into this route where you say it's woke without any real acknowledgement of what the game is. We don't really know much about the game, but that person, like that individual that they hired to do this shit, they are 100% on that track, and that's what people are looking at, and that's where they're like, you know what, fuck this.
No, I get it,
and
but it's like all we've seen
is a
30-second trailer.
I don't care about the trailer. Like, the minute they start, it's kind of like, you know, when Tom talks about how, you know, certain people are involved in these movies or certain people are involved in these shows.
So are you not going to buy Dragon Ball Sparking because Monica Rial, Chris Sabat, Sean Schemmel, all those crazy fucks that canceled Vic Mignogna? You're not going to play that game now because of them?
Oh, I'll play it in Japanese. But listen, I'm talking
about
mine.
It's the same argument, though, because that's how I'm going to play Yōtei if I play it.
But Dragon
I'm gonna play in Japanese.
But Dragon Ball's been around forever, right? And these individuals were involved in Dragon Ball way before all this other stuff started coming out about them. They're so heavily ingrained in it, you're never really going to remove them from the series. It sucks. I acknowledge it, but it is what it is. When it comes to this game, I loved Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it was a great fucking game. But I'm done with this, right? Like, I like The Last of Us. I thought that was a great fucking game. Then we got The Last of Us 2. Like, the minute the warning signs are on the fucking wall, I'm just tapped out. Like, I don't want to give them the money. I don't want this game to be like, oh, it's a mediocre game and I'm going to play it because it's a sequel of this game that I really like, when all of these fucked up individuals are involved in it.
I think the way that I worded it on Twitter, where I basically got attacked by everybody about it.
You were making the
I did,
rounds.
which is fine. That was okay.
Hey, it happens to me, man. So welcome,
It actually got so bad. One of my buddies, like in real life, he just DM'd me one time and he's like, dude, what the fuck did you do? And I'm like, what do you mean? he's like, I'm on TikTok and all I'm seeing is people attacking you for what you said about this fucking Ghost of Tsushima sequel game. And I'm like, yeah, my bad. That kind of happens. But I kind of agree that I kind of said it poorly the way I said it originally. It's not.
I felt you, man. I know what you were saying, but
yeah, it's not the problem that she's a woman. The problem is that the person that is playing the character is an insane activist. That's kind of what I should have said. But fuck it, we ball. It's there now, so who cares? But it is what it is.
I think a lot of the people that were involved with the first one are still on this one. It could be a great game. I'm in wait and see mode, just like I am with Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm in wait and see mode on that one. I think you are going to see a Ghost of Tsushima 2. I think Jin's coming back. Sony wants to do so much with that property. They're talking about shows, spin-offs, all kinds of shit.
Well, the John Wick guy's doing the movie,
yeah,
right? Still.
I'm looking forward to that show. The movie.
So,
Are they going to be a movie or a show?
Movie.
Yeah, that'd probably be pretty good.
Wait and see is the correct approach to it as well, because
I get it.
I think you're both making the same point,
and I respect it. I'm just saying, like, for me, I'm just not going to give them the fucking money. Like, I'm tapped out. I'm done. There's other games that I can go fucking play, and maybe it's the greatest fucking game ever. I'm just so fucking tired of them going in this direction, hiring these fucked up individuals. And, the fact of the matter is, you give them the money, this person gains fame, and then they start pushing their fucking agenda like they all fucking do. I just don't want to.
She's actually been in a lot of stuff. She's in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, she can go fuck herself. I hope she gets
She's
cancer.
also in Dragon Age Veilguard. She plays
guess what, Crow?
Just
like with the other games I talked about, you can play Final Fantasy in another language. You can play it in Japanese. That's how I played it.
It's not a game.
We should be better than this as well.
I think throwing a game under the bus because of a fucking voice actor is crazy. You can play the game in another language.
The voice actor and the mocap actress, like, I have to look at her disgusting fucking face and I get to see her fucking disgusting ideas. I just don't want to give them my fucking money anymore.
And this is fine too, but we shouldn't arrive at the point of the left where we condemn a game because of one person.
One at a time.
Don't hire that one fucking person. You chose to hire them. I didn't force you to hire them. It wasn't like there weren't like 100 other people you could have hired to do this. You chose that person. You fucking sit and stew in it. I don't need to fucking give you money.
Of course not, but it becomes the same as the left's cancel culture, where they found out that Scott Cawthon donated to Republicans, for example, and they suddenly weren't fans of it anymore.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I kind of wish that we could look at what our enemies do, and when it's successful, maybe we should like say, hey, it's working for them, and the problem is it has worked for them. So I'm like, I'm like living there. I'm just like, if they're going to keep doing this shit, it's like the fucking, what was that argument with the fucking Budweiser, right? Oh, they hired that insane fucking trans person and people stopped buying Budweiser. But Budweiser is a company that donates to Republicans. Fuck off. Like, it just fuck off. It's my money. I'll spend it where I fucking want to spend it. I'm not going to give it to you people when you keep doing this shit and you know it pisses us off. You know it pisses us off.
One has the right
we don't
to not
want
spend
to
money.
fucking support it, and you do it anyways. It's like you just keep spitting in our faces and then being like, but you're going to buy my game anyways. Now, fuck you.
But then what separates us from them? Like, this is an important thing. Now that the right, quote unquote, is becoming the culturally dominant force, we have to look at these issues with a slight bit more nuance and see how we can separate ourselves from the people we dislike. Otherwise, we fear we are in danger of becoming them. Because right now, the main thing that separates us is power. If we achieve that power and then wield it in the same way...
Acknowledge what you did.
Let him finish his point.
I was going to answer his question. I'm just...
No, it's pretty much done.
I'm just saying, acknowledge what you fucking did. Say that you made a mistake. Say that you're not going to fucking do it again, and then I'll fucking support you. But I'm not doing this shit where you fucking slap your dick in my fucking face and you tell me I have to fucking play it and I have to give you fucking grace when you've never given us grace. No. Fuck no. Acknowledge what you did was fucking wrong. Acknowledge that you're doing it in spite of the fact that we keep telling you to knock it the fuck off. And then stop fucking doing it. I'm not going to sit there and go like, listen, you know, if Scott Cawthorn, like, because I get it. I think that that's stupid, right? But if Scott Cawthorn said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to donate to Republicans anymore, and they still wanted to fucking go after the guy, like, they would. 100% they fucking would, because they never fucking stop. I'll stop when you acknowledge what you're fucking doing and you tell me you're not going to keep fucking doing it to us. But you don't. You do it in spite of the fact that you lose millions of fucking dollars, and you have example after example after example of fucking this shit failing. So you want it to fucking happen. I'm not going to give you fucking money. Maybe it's the greatest game on fucking earth. That's fucking fine. I'm done. And I like Ghost of Tsushima. I like that game. I think that they're talented fucking individuals, but fuck you.
But that does make us the ones who are cutting ourselves off from entertainment for political reasons.
Hey, listen. Fine. Fucking fine. There's other things in entertainment I can go give my fucking money to. I don't have to give it to this fucking game when you keep fucking
I think you're both validated in it, and it's fine. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. If you want to buy it, buy it. And I think Flash is right too. If you don't want to like play it and you want to play it with Japanese voice actors, go ahead and do that. That way you don't hear her. I'm like 90% sure her face is the character. I could be wrong, but it looks pretty obvious that it is.
And they changed her to like an older woman. She looks like she's about 30 something.
Well, I mean, the voice actor lady,
35, 40.
She's 37 years old. Just because I did a video on it, so I unfortunately know this. So, yeah.
I just loved hearing Crow get raged up.
Well, here's the thing, right? You guys support the game, right? It's the biggest fucking game ever, and then this bitch.
I didn't say I was going to. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. I need to see more than a 30-second trailer before I decide if I'm going to get it or not.
Let me rephrase that. What I'm saying is, let's say
I'm just saying if I do, I'm not going to play the game in fucking English anyway.
Let's say
just like I'm not going to play I'm not going to play Dragon Ball Z Sparking in English either. I don't like the English cast. I've never liked them. I thought they sucked before they learned about them.
I get it.
Especially Sean Schemmel, who's a one-trick pony.
Same
with Chris Sabat. He's a one-trick pony too. All his characters sound the same.
This game is super successful. They're going to take it as a sign that we don't care, and they can keep hiring these fucking individuals, and they can just go a little bit further in the same fucking direction that they keep fucking pushing it. That's why. Well,
I don't think that's the case too. Like, obviously, they get a lot of data on these games based on just us, like, you know, playing them. And if they see that enough people are playing it in Japanese only and not playing in English, they're going to realize that, you know, like, while we're putting all these resources into the English version and people aren't playing it because of this individual, like these studios, to a certain degree, they do listen. I wouldn't say 100%, which I expand on that a lot more tomorrow. And there's a lot anyway. But yeah, just let's put it this way: like, you have to vote with your money. You do. But I also have this other. I remember someone told me about this, about like when I said that we should support Space Marine 2. People are like, "Well, why do that? Warhammer has gone woke in a sense." And I always, say then, and I say now, is that it's a great game. But I'm also saying is that if a company does something that is good, right? Like for example, Space Marine, but Games Workshop is kind of dumb themselves, right? Which they are. You need to reward the things that are good, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you have to reward the things that are bad. For example, they want to make female Adeptus Custodians a thing. We know this because it's in the Ties TV show. They want to make figurines on it. That's their prerogative if they want to do that. It doesn't mean that we have to buy it, though. And by us not buying it, we support the parts of the business that we want to see. Space Marine 2 is a good example. And then we ignore the things that we don't want to support, which is Adeptus Custodes and that kind of nonsense. That way, you're sending a message with your money, and you're still, in a sense, supporting the brand that you love, and that is within your right. But you're supporting the parts of the brand that you believe is actually worth supporting. You know what I mean? So, yes, in a way, I understand what you're saying. Like, okay, yeah, if you buy Yōtei, you are supporting wokeness to a certain degree. And in a way, you could be right on that, right? We don't know 100% yet everything about the game yet, so we can't like jump too far yet, right? Like we'll see as more comes out.
I want to get
but,
back
yeah.
to Ubisoft. I didn't even want to talk about Yōtei, really. We've talked about this for so long.
Yeah.
I just
But
don't care
Ubisoft's
about
the
it
same
yet.
way, too. Like Ubisoft's screwed no matter what. So, yeah, they're like I said, like from what I know, they're not gonna survive anything. They're completely
Somebody said
screwed.
Ubisoft. Oh yeah, they're screwed. Totally screwed.